my name's Coach Nikki. We're going to be going over some grade level beam skills today that you can practice at home if you don't have a beam. So the first thing that you want to think about is setting aside a very clear area on your floor, particularly on your carpet if you're not going to go outside. If you have masking tape or just anything you can lay on the floor like this to look like a straight line to mimic a beam, that's awesome. If not, you can just set kind of a clear area and maybe have obstacles on both sides so that you can see that there's a straight line available in front of you. So the first thing that we're going to work on is our turns. You want to go on that line if you're able to have one. We're going to hold our passe for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to turn and then step out of it with our arms up high. So we're going to try 5 of those. Make sure it's really important that you're on that line, that your toe is pointed in your passe when it's touching your knee. Make sure it's not too low, not too high. You want it right on your knee and that your arms are in 3rd position. They look really pretty. And snap. And then finish out in front of you. So again, we're going to do 5 of those. Make sure that you're really tightening your core and your shoulders aren't coming up to your ears so that you can turn. The next thing that we're going to focus on is our leaps. In our green routine, we have a step, kick, jump to arabesque, which is a mini form of a leap. So to practice that, we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to step on our line, put an obstacle in front of us. It can be anything like a pillow, a stuffed animal, just something to have in the way. Hold your kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and leap. And then come through and finish with your arms up. So one super thing important is to lift that leg straight and making sure that your toes are pointed. And when you jump, make sure you're not just putting your foot down. You want to actually leap. So you have to plie on your back leg. So you're bending it and then you're up and down when you come over. So you want to make sure that you're not just putting your foot down, that you're actually exploding into the air and that you're thinking about jumping over something. So we're going to do about 5 to 7 of those, making sure that our leaps are going over. You want to make sure that your chest stays up as well. So when you go over, it shouldn't look like this because you're going to lose all of your balance. But if you have your chest up, then you're able to come through. The next thing that we're going to work on is our step kick split handstand. We're going to go in increments for this. So the first thing that we're going to do is our T holds. So we're going to start in a really strong lunge. We're going to go over and hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and come back up into our lunge. We're going to do 5 of those, making sure that our toes are pointed and our arms are really elongated, covering our ears. Next, we're going to do our needle scale. So we're going to go all the way down to the floor, making sure our body stays in a straight line. Use our butterfly hands and hold 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come back up into our lunge. Again, we're going to do that 5 times. Make sure that your toes are pointed and your legs are staying straight. The next step is our teeter-totter. So we're going to use our butterfly hands, pretending that we're actually on the beam. Start in our lunge, and then do a tiny hop, and come back up. And I want you to try 10 of these. So it can be a small jump, just something to kind of get you warmed up. But make sure that your legs are straight and your toes are pointed. And your arms are staying up super strong, pushing away from the beam so they're not bending when you hit the floor. And lastly, we're going to do our split handstand. So again, staying in that straight line, starting in a big strong lunge, we're going to kick over and then come back up. If that's pretty easy, I want you to try to hold it for 2 seconds or 3 seconds when you're upside down. Try to keep your legs all the way out into a split as far as you can. And then I want you to try your step kick, just like we do on the beam. And then go into it. All right? The last thing that we're going to practice is our dismount. So this is obviously a little challenging since we don't have a beam. But what we're going to do to work on our arms and our ab strength is to actually do a cartwheel and a handstand and then just come out of your handstand just like a normal one. So get ready for your cartwheel. You're going to go up, freeze, and then come out. So in this instance, you do need to clear some areas so that when you come down, you don't hit anything. But again, you're going to do a lunge, go into a cartwheel, and freeze in the middle, just like a cartwheel handstand dismount. And then come out in your lunge. I want you to practice that 10 times or until it looks really good. Again, pointed toes, push away from the beam. Make sure that you have your arms covering your ears and that your core is really, really tight so that you don't fall down. And that's all our conditioning for the beam.